What's going on, my friends? This is your host, GBS of Into the Squared Circle podcast, where we talk about all things pro wrestling. Here on the show, I'm going to put my ass on the spot. In 5 minutes, I'm going to try to get my top favorite moments from Monday Night Raw this past Monday, AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday, and my top favorite moments in WWE Smackdown this past Friday on Fox. So stay tuned. If there's any moments you enjoyed, drop it on the comment section right here down below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That's simple. And then I talked about it's on podcasts, right? Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Pop these son of a guns around your ears, or maybe take it to go. Maybe you're at work. Whatever it may be, all you have to do is type in Into the Squared Circle podcast. All right, I'm going to shut the hell up. Let's talk about all things pro wrestling right now. Put my ass on the spot. 5 minutes? Can I do it? Let's do it right here, right now, and Into the Squared Circle podcast.
You can feel it, dude! You can feel it! Load the spaceship with the rocket fuel! Load it with the worst!
Here we go, man. My top highlights for Raw, Smackdown, and AEW Dynamite under 5 minutes. And of course, I got to get one of these WWE Primes that came across on Walmart. And hopefully they'll boost my ass in the next 5 minutes, all right? So bear with me. So let's get into it, baby. We're going to put 5-minute clocks starting now. So 5 minutes, here we go, baby. So Monday Night Raw this past Monday on the USA Network was pretty solid, right? CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Boy, howdy, that stuff right there. I love where the storyline's going. These guys are not done with each other. I'm looking forward to it, and it's great to see these guys continuing to pick it up this past Monday on Raw. Good stuff. The other top highlights, big guys. Big guys are just, man, they're getting recognized on Raw. You got Bronson Reed, man. He is, man, they're pushing him to the moon to be the tough badass of a monster. I like it, but he pushed it too far this past Monday on Raw. See, I'm kind of confused. There's so many big guys in WWE land that's kicking ass. Bronson Reed, man, he sounds like he might be suspended, according to Adam Pearce during Monday Night Raw. You're suspended! Now, if he's really suspended, we'll have to find out this coming Monday on Raw, but, man, guy's a beast. You don't want to mess with big Bronson Reed. Talk about another big guy. Odyssey Jones. I'm very impressed, man. He reminds me of maybe a young Mark Henry. I don't know. But he's impressive, right? He is jacked to the guild. He is athletic. And maybe there's something, a little friction here with the New Day. I believe Xavier Woods, one of those guys. We're not too thrilled about him joining the New Day. I like Odyssey Jones. He's something special. He's a big guy. He does freakish stuff that not a lot of big guys can do. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to see Odyssey Jones' future career in the WWE. Let's hop on over to Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS at AEW All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, it's the big build as we're getting close to AEW All In. We're just days away from the Wembley Stadium. Big show, big time pro wrestling, and man, AEW Dynamite. That's some great stuff on it. That great packages. It seems like they're improving their packages when it comes to their promo between Danielson and MJF. I love that stuff. Ospreay and Swerve, man. I'm sorry, not Ospreay and Swerve. Was it Swerve and Danielson? See, I got it all mixed up. Swerve and Danielson, that's the big stuff right there. Career versus title, okay? Ospreay and MJF. Now I got it right. You put those two together, put a great package when it comes to video packages. AEW Dynamite did a great job, and I thought that was the top highlights I enjoyed because they did a hell of a job. This past Saturday on AEW Collision, they had a great package, and Will Ospreay's Tiger Driver move and talk about how dangerous it is. And it's great they talked about it, how dangerous Tiger Driver is and how it could play a role at All In against MJF. It's good stuff. But again, other top highlight closing out the show, obviously it's going to be Danielson and Swerve. Those guys had a heat-up, intense moment closing out AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday on TBS. By the way, Pac, the bastard Pac. He's going for the title, baby, at All Out right here in Chicago. So whoever will walk out as the world champion of All In between Swerve and Danielson will get a title shot with Pac at All Out at the Now Arena here in Chicago. Let's talk about SmackDown. I didn't like the intro. Okay, it felt like a Vince McMahon intro. It was just like a unicorn vomit on television. Not my thing. I skipped through it. But what I did enjoy is LA Knight promo, man. He is jacked up to the gill. He's ready for the next step. And he's going to have a title. He's going to defend his title next week at Washington, D.C., if I'm not mistaken, on SmackDown. But, man, hell of a promo from LA Knight. It's just, he's a star, baby. You can just feel it. The other top moment, the Bloodline. So, Solo Sikoa made it very clear that if you put that garment that Solo Sikoa had, if Roman Reigns put that around his neck, he is the tribal chief. All of us here in the Bloodline have to acknowledge him. Roman Reigns, man, he came in, he took out the Bloodline. He had the garment, he put it over his neck. I'm like, there it is, the original tribal chief. Nope, Jacob Fatu came in, beat the hell out of him, and I hope there's a match in the future between those two. But long story short, the Bloodline destroyed Roman Reigns, threw him through an announce table just like they did with Cody and whatnot. And, man, some good stuff here, man. Good stuff here. Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline. There's something cooking here. Maybe Survivor Series. Well, we'll have to find out. So here we are, baby. 5 minutes, clocking down. There it is. 5 minutes is done. Here we are. And, man, a lot of good stuff. I know. So that's telling you right there that 5 minutes is done. And, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoy this episode, of course. And, again, drop down in the comment section your top highlights for Friday night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, and the AEW Dynamite. Because there's a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff in the world of pro wrestling. Again, the podcast, seriously, man, there's some stuff that's not featured on YouTube. So the podcast, man, I got a lot of stuff. I just broke down what's going on around the world of pro wrestling, from AAA to New Japan to TNA wrestling. So if you're watching on YouTube and TikTok, head on over to the podcast right now. Spotify, AirRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. That's where it's at right there, man. You get more stuff that's not featured right here in the show. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe and drop it down in the comment section down below.